Yes, sir, we're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Extreme Sets Control Center pop-up review. Let's do it.
Man, I used to play the trap spot, propped on the block like I was part of the backdrop. Now it's scale, props, effects, and backdrops. The right lighting, you never catch me biting. Say you make it look so real when you pose the figures fighting. I caught lightning, stuck it in the detour. Replicate epic scenes from the Creed War. Compose pieces with artists that span the globe. Fearsome foes, Spidey in the picture perfect pose. Insert the comic book cutout to shoot a show. Oh, you ain't know? Yo, everybody know me. I made nerds cool nerd like my man Zobi. Took the everyday display, gave it a spark. Welcome to articulated comic book art.
That's crispy.
Yeah, man. So I'm back with my second Extreme Sets pop-up review, I guess in my series of Extreme Sets pop-up reviews, and we are looking at the Control Center pop-up. Says +6 here on the front, and you can see some schematics there on the front. I'm gonna try to go a little more in depth in this review. I realized there was quite a few things that I left out, a few things that I wanted to mention, and seeing some questions and seeing some comments and stuff like that, I want to go a little more in depth in this review. This is the back of the box. This is Extreme Sets. You can see that the ring here. So like I mentioned in that first review of the, in my first review of the subway terminal, I had mentioned that I believe that Extreme Sets started out primarily doing wrestling pop-ups. So yeah, they're venturing out here. This is how the back of the box looks. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, looks like 7 parts here if I'm not mistaken. This one looks like it might be something three-dimensional, so I'll get that done. Again, I don't feel like there's any wrong or right way to do this. You can mix and match, and you can put them together however you see fit. Use as much of it as you see fit. Yes, these are cardboard pretty much with printed pictures on them. You can see some of the different pictures here. This looks like it could work for Iron Man or Transformers or whatever. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Maybe it's supposed to be underwater, looking out, maybe like a submarine or something like that. So yeah, you got quite a few different options. So the way all of these connect is there's a little tab here. You got to kind of break this seal here, and then you're going to insert the other part above from this end with these tabs. And it is kind of a pain in the ass to do this though, because you have to be careful that you don't stress the cardboard here and put creases and what have you in there, and you got to get this inserted in there properly, slide it in there right. That sounds terrible, but you know, one thing that I didn't really mention too is that obviously once you break these down and you're done, you can store it back in a box. So as far as storage goes, it's a pretty good look as far as storage goes. Let's see how long it takes me to put something together here. So yeah, that was pretty easy. This is the one three-dimensional part that you get for this particular set, and it looks like a little control panel, control center, or the I guess the motherboard or dashboard for the control center. So you can sit that there and then put something in the back, or use these as floorboards. Or so starting out with something very simple here, just a few of the panels, and if I zoom in, and we definitely have something that looks seamless and will serve its purpose as a nice backdrop for some pictures. Let's get some figures in there for scale. You know, Abomination is a pretty big figure, but this is only with a few of the panels on top of that. So definitely a lot of options with shots and with depth and perspective and what have you. I haven't even really adjusted the lights or anything here, but as you can see, it looks pretty good. And just messing around with the other panels here. I'm not really a big fan of these on the left and right that look like it's underwater. I would probably not use this panel for the floor. Maybe just use a big piece of poster paper or construction paper for the floor. But this is another option. This is the other panels that I didn't use in the first set. Well, I recycled the floor from that first little scene. But I mean, you got a lot of options here, a lot of different things you can do. You can use them all at once and construct one big room, or you know, use a couple parts here and there depending on what you're trying to do. But like I said, I'm not a huge fan of these with the underwater look. But I mean, you know, if you wanted to take an X-Acto to this window and take it out and maybe use the window as like a holding cell or something like that, I guess you could probably do that if you replaced it with some sort of material. Maybe you could just leave it out. I don't know. I mean, the options are there. It's a lot of different options, no question about that. And again, just for scale. And you can even position them for like a long corridor, and that's pretty cool. Again, this is just the my floor here. Obviously, I would need to cover the base here, but gives you a good idea. A lot of space, man. A lot of options. You know, I'm looking at this one too, and I wish it would have been 2 or 3 of this particular one, so you could actually lay your own floor. You don't have to change up the floor because you need quite a bit of poster paper or plexiglass or whatever you're going to use as a floor if you want to use all of the boards at one time. It's all about imagination. It's all about your vision and working with what you have, working within your means. It's about layering. It's about depth. You see I have one of the walls here from the subway station to make it look like the inside of a little holding cell, and I've got Abomination in there. And I went ahead and used the X-Acto and cut out one of the boards here to make it look like a little cell, and then constructed everything else, used the portions for the base, for the floorboards. And I actually had this portion back here wrong. This, you know, I did say that it was really no right or wrong way to do this, but they actually left a section on that board blank, so that way you can sit the little motherboard flush up against the wall there, and everything looks in sync. So just to be clear, one of these sets will cost you about $40 before shipping. I have heard some people outside of the country complain about the shipping costs, and it's really no way to avoid that, especially since shipping costs have gone up across the board recently. I do think $40 is a pretty fair price considering how much you get and how many possibilities you get and the convenience of it all. I saw some comments on our fan page when we posted up a link to purchase these, and people were saying, oh, it's just cardboard, and you know, it's a lot of money for just cardboard. And I mean, you're paying a convenience fee for the most part. You're paying for everything to be primed and pressed and ready for you when you pull it out of the box, and for you to be able to put it back into the box and not take up a lot of space. Now, don't get me wrong, I will never pick something like this over an actual diorama that a builder has put together, but when you have something like this and you can couple it with other things and other diorama parts, it does make for some great displaying. And you know, as you can see, you do get a lot with this. So there's a lot of space to cover. So this one I do really like. I don't know if I like it more than the Subway set, but this definitely has fun factor. And I'm thinking of so many different possibilities and so many things I want to do. I've seen so many different ideas that I couldn't even think of on Instagram and everywhere else with the Subway set and with a lot of different sets. So people are definitely thinking outside the box, and I think this is a great tool to get your juices flowing, your mental juices flowing, and for you to really come up with some great ideas for displaying. So yeah, I would recommend this one. And until next time, peace.